Yes. I'll get up here. All right. So today we are just going over every single thing that we've done in our statistics section. All right. So our directions say for each of the following data sets, we're going to find the mean, the median, the mode, the range, the UQ, which is the upper quartile, the LQ, the lower quartile, the IQR, inner quartile range, the MAD, all right, so again, to reiterate, that's the mean, absolute, deviation, and we're also going to make box and whisker plots. The only new thing are the last two. Mean, absolute deviation we did yesterday. Box and whisker we did Monday and Tuesday. All right? So we're going to put everything together today. Before I even start the problem, I'm going to go ahead and list everything else that I have to do so that I know what it is. Remember, guys, I'm going to have to put these in order, do a bunch of stuff to them, so I'm going to leave some space. Leave some space, and I'm going to come down here and start making my list, starting with mean. And I'm just going to write it in the order that it's given to me. Median, mode. And guys, you notice I'm going all the way to the very edge of my paper. Range, UQ, LQ, IQR. Then we're going to have to do, down here, once I get closer to 3, that's probably not enough room for my mean absolute deviation. So I'm going to put my box and whisker down here. Which technically I probably don't have to label. I just don't want to forget it. Okay. And I'm going to leave a spot over to the right for me to do my mean absolute deviation. Right? So that's all the different things we have to do. Okay. I'm going to give you a moment to make sure you have everything written in. I'm going to make this a little bit bigger. Is that better, guys? All right, that symbol right there is just like what's up in the directions where it says the and symbol. It's kind of like a mark, a backwards 3, and then a mark underneath. All right. Okay. When I'm looking at this, what is step 1? Whenever we're giving a list of data, what's the first thing we want to do, Brian? Put it in order. So let's go ahead and do that, starting with my smallest number, which is 1. Then we're going to have 4, and then 7, then, and then 9. All right, so guys, I'm going to do a lot of work with this right here. So I'm also going to go ahead, I'm going to write my list twice. Are y'all okay with that? So like if I mark this up and I do stuff and I mark numbers out, when I go to do my mean absolute deviation, I'm going to still need those numbers again. So I'm going to write it twice. I'm going to put 1 over here as well. 1, 4, 7, 9, and 9. Because, for this problem, I would. Like, this is your guide. If you decide when you're working on them on your own that you just really don't need that there, that's fine. That's up to you. Okay? I like to have it there so I don't leave any out and I don't put any extras in. All right. So let's just start at the top. It's been a while since we've done the mean. Raise your hand if you remember. What are the steps for finding my mean? Madison.
Add all the numbers up and divide them on how many numbers there are.
Add them all up and divide by the number of numbers, okay? So what do we get when we add them up? Someone type that in. What do you got? Amelia?
6.
What do I get when I add them?
30.
Thank you. That's not you. She just jumped to the answer. So now what do I have to do, Amelia?
Divide it by how many numbers that we added.
And that we're dividing it by?
5.
Thank you. And then what did you get for that answer, Amelia? 6. Excellent job. Okay. Guys, quiet, please. Thank you. All right. Luis, what do I do to find the median? Joshua. How did you know it was 7? Okay. I need a legitimate answer. What are the steps to find the median? All right. So what are you going towards? The middle. We look for what's in the middle. In this problem, 7 is the number in the middle, so that's my median. Right? How do I find my range? How do I find my range? Braylon. Oh, I'm sorry, we're on mode. Braylon, how do I find the mode? Whatever is there the most. And what did you say it was? 9. Excellent. All right, so that's my mode. Sorry, I said it out of order for a second. So that was mode, the most. All right, Brian, how do I find the range?
Do 9 minus 1 and you get 8.
9 minus 1, because it's the biggest minus the smallest, and Brian said we get 8. All right, excellent job. All right, my upper quartile. Upper quartile. How do I find that one? Do I need to slow down for anyone?
No.
Are we okay? All right. Please remember, guys, I'm going to put this video online. So if I did go too fast tonight, we can go back and rewatch it and go to the parts that we missed. Elle, how do I find the upper quartile?
So since 7 is the median and there's 2 for each, you put a line between them. Then you add them both together. Then divide by 2.
Perfect. So Elle said we've taken out the 7, so we knew there were only 2 numbers at the bottom, which means we're going to have to go in between them. And then he also told me I'm going to add those up, which gives me 5. And then he said once I add them, I have to divide by 2. So now I do 5 divided by 2, which gives me, Lainey? 2.5. 2.5. And, y'all, I made a little mistake. Is that my UQ? No, that's my LQ. I'm so goofy. That's the low side. So make sure we put that for the low side. All right, so now we're going to do our UQ. I'm going to let someone else pull that one out for me. All right, what do I do for the UQ, Noah?
You go between the 9 and the 9, the other 9.
Go between the 9 and 9. So now I'm actually looking on the upper side. So we're going to go between 9 and 9. Now some of us already know what this is. If we don't know what it is, what do I do, Noah?
Divided by 2. We'll add them together, then divide them.
Wait.
Divide them by 2.
We add them together and divide by 2. So 9 plus 9 is? 18 divided by 2, which is 9. All right, because think about it. If 9 and 9, and I want to know what's in the middle, my middle number is going to be the same number, okay? All right, so make sure, guys, now I apologize, I did this backwards right here. So make sure we have our upper quartile is 9 because my upper should be bigger. My lower quartile is 2.5. Make sure we put that in the right order. All right, Luis? Yes, absolutely. Luis, how do we find our interquartile range?
Use the
9 minus 2.5. We do my upper quartile minus my lower quartile, and what does that give us? 6.5. Very good. All right. So, guys, that was all review stuff from the last 2 weeks, not this week. That was from the last 2 weeks. So now we're getting to the new stuff. So if you've been out for any reason this week, this is probably a part that you're going to want to rewatch or go back and look at. All right. So let's look. Let's look at the box and whisker first, because that's what we did on Monday. So let's go to Monday's work first and do our box and whisker. In order to do a box and whisker, what do I need? Fran? I need a number line. All right. I tried to space these out on your worksheet so that you have room to do your work. But as you can see, it's a lot of work that we're doing, isn't it? All right. I would recommend, if you want, doing your box and whisker on a separate sheet of paper. Because if you're doing a box and whisker on lined paper, isn't that easier to make a number line? All right. I'm going to keep working on this paper so that it's all in one location for the people watching the video, and also for when we check it tomorrow, so everything's in one place, which makes it easier for checking for you guys. All right, so I'm going to draw it here. All right, do you have to draw it on this paper? No. You can get lined paper, you can get graph paper if you would like. Give us all a second to get all that out. Okay. All right, so now I've got my line, but I need some tick marks. All right, how do I know what numbers to put on there? Maggie? Okay, can you help us out, Liz?
The range was like you do 9 minus 1 to get 8 plus 1 is 1.
Yeah, so we look back up at our range, which was 8, and we're just going to add 1 to that, which gives us 9. Guys, remember also you can use that technique to find out how many tick marks, or the main thing here, what's my smallest number? 1. What's my biggest number? 9. My number line has to go at least from 1, and it has to make it up to 9. Could I start before 1? Yes. Could I go after 9? Yeah, but I have to have at least that much. So I'm going to put these on here. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Now, I had just enough spaces. What did you say, Brian? You went up to 12. Is that okay? Yes. That just means he's not going to use 10, 11, or 12, but they can be on the number line. All right. So I have my number line. Now I've got to start drawing my boxes, my box, and my whiskers. What is one thing that I need? I'm sorry, I'm going to pause for a second because I got I jumped the gun a little bit.
Can you explain again how to get
The numbers?
the range?
The range? The biggest number minus the smallest number.
Like
The tick marks. To find out how many ticks you put, you look at your range and you add 1, which was 9. How many tick marks did I put? 9. Right? Another way to do that. If you can't remember to add 1 to the range, that's fine. Look up here. What number do I need to start at? 1. And I need to keep putting tick marks until I get to 9. Okay? If I look down, let's look at this one. What's the smallest number here? 6. So I need to start at 6. And what number do I need to go to? 9. Could I go further than 9? Yes, but we have to go at least from 6 to 9. Does that make sense? All right, so if you don't want to, if you've forgotten the strategy using the range, that's fine. All right. So from here, there are 5 things that go on the box and whisker. And in the past, we had to calculate all of those while we were making it. But look at all this stuff that we've already calculated. I'm betting some of this stuff, not all of it, but some of it's going to go on our box and whisker. Louise, can you name one thing that goes on my box and whisker? The median. Have I already found the median?
Yes.
Yeah, I found it right here. So the median, now, Louise, when I put the median on my number line, do I need a dot or a line? A line, because my median is part of my box. Okay, so there's the line. All right, so we got the median. What else do I need on my box and whisker? Noah?
Upper quartile?
The upper quartile. So I'm going to put a check mark there. Upper quartile, dot or line?
Line.
A line. Okay, so let's go ahead and finish making my box. I have my median. I have my upper quartile, which is also a median. Michaela, what do I need next? My lower quartile. So that's at 2.5. So in between 2 and 3. Dot or line? Line. So all of that is making my box. So I'm going to connect them. So now we still got to put our whiskers. What makes up my whiskers? Maggie? The least number and the greatest number. Maggie, what is my least number? 1, because that starts me out at the very beginning. So 1, and do I need a dot or a line? A dot, because we're connecting it as a whisker. All right? And then what was my greatest value, Brian? 9. Dot or line? We need a dot, because it's a whisker. Now, when I go to put my dot, there's already a line there.
Yeah.
All right, that's okay. We can just put our dot on the line. Don't put it beside it because it still has to be at 9. Okay, so that's it. All right, so we've done our box and whisker. So now we've got to do our mean absolute deviation. All right, so guys, I'm going to put a little reminder here. All right, hey, focus for a second, please. All right, remember, on the mean absolute deviation, we've got to do the mean. Then we have to subtract because we got to find all of our distances. Then we have to find the mean again. Y'all remember doing all that? Here's our homework. I'm going to get it out and show you again real quick. We found the mean. Then we subtracted to find the difference between, because that tells us how far apart they are. And then we found the mean again. So, now do we have that lovely chart that I put on our homework?
Yeah.
Sort of. So let's kind of separate that. Here we go. Mean, subtract, and then we'll do the mean again. All right, so what was the mean? Do I need to do the mean again if I've already calculated the mean?
No.
No, what was my mean? Raise your hand if you can tell me, please. Ja'Cory. 6. My mean, if I look over here, it was 6, so I'm going to write 6. My mean was 6. I think you divided by 2 that second time.
Oh.
All right, so my mean is 6. Now it says subtract. What does it mean when it says subtract? What am I subtracting? Maggie? All of the numbers with the mean. All right, now remember, which number always has to be first? The big one. Does the mean always have to be first? No, it's just the big one. So let's start with 1. So when I do 6 and 1, which number is going to be first? 6, because it's bigger. So we're going to do 6 minus 1, and 6 minus 1 is? 5. Okay. All right, what's going to be next? 6 minus 1. Then what do we need to do? Raise your hand if you can tell me, please. Jessica?
6 minus 4.
6 minus 4. Very good. And 6 minus 4 is?
2.
2. All right, and then what do we need to do next? Leslie?
6 minus 7.
7 minus 6. Very good. Look. I'm glad you caught yourself. This is why I should use pencil. All right. So then we're going to do 7 because 7 is bigger, right? 7 minus 6, which gives me 1. All right. And then what's going to be next? Maggie? 9 minus 6 because 9 is bigger, which gives me 3. And then Noah?
9 minus 6 again.
We're going to do 9 minus 6 again because there were 2 9s. And the answer is still 3. Okay. We did the mean. We subtracted it with all of our numbers. Now it says we have to do the mean again. Does that mean I'm going back to this? No. What am I doing for this mean? Benito? We're adding all of these numbers up. We're adding all of these. Excellent, excellent job. All right? You did it. Yay! Great work. You. Maybe I'll get to use these this Friday on y'all's test. Okay. All right. What's wrong? All right. So let me finish this up and then we'll look, okay? All right. So real quick. So Benito. All right. So Benito just told me to add up all of these numbers. What do we get when we add up all of these numbers? Brian? Okay, not when we add them up. You just gave me the answer.
You have to add them up, then you have to divide them by how many numbers there are, like all the answers that there were there. You have to divide how much answers.
And what did you get when you added them? All right, you're on your way.
Like all of them, like together when I divided and everything.
No, what did you just get when you added them?
Oh.
Did you write that down on your paper?
No.
No, let's put that down on our paper because sometimes that's where the mistake happens. Michaela? 14. All right. Now, Natalie, after I get 14, what do I have to do?
Divide by 5.
Divide it by 5 because there are 5 numbers. And what do we get Alex? 2.8. So what is my mean absolute deviation? 2.8. Okay? We just set up the first one. Guys, that's a lot of work. A lot of us write a little bit larger than the amount of space is given. Please, if you have gone over into where number 2 is, please work it on a separate sheet of paper. Okay? Tomorrow we're checking 2, 3, 4, and 5 for accuracy before we take our quiz. Okay? So you have the rest of the period to work on this. I'm going to be walking around and helping, so if you have a